This week we talk about England bottling the Euros and then thrashing their own gaff, as well as some sizzling sunburn stories.
Welcome to the show this week. We have the usual people in with us. We have Gar.
All right.
And we have Bud.
I'm melting!
It is a fucking hot one today.
It is horrible.
Scorchio!
Very, very hot. Jesus Christ. It's a
been...
heat wave that Ireland is not used to in the slightest.
No.
But it's not like it's hot, and I'm a big fucker. I don't like heat that much. But
I'm the same. I'm built for the winter.
I love heat, but heat does not love me.
Yeah.
Like I piss sweat in winter.
Yeah.
You know, it's not for me.
But
But I love it though.
outside is one thing, but in here is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
That's just so everyone knows it is hot as
I feel
fuck.
like
at the bar.
I feel like I'm in Satan's jockstrap.
Yeah.
It's a dank
Yeah,
place.
the Wile E. Coyote bar. It is a fucking hot one.
Yeah.
Absolute hot one. The only indoor bar that you will get in Ireland at the moment. Yeah. Exclusive.
COVID free.
Yeah, it is fucking crazy hot. Crazy hot. I think there's a bit of a heat wave going around Europe at the moment. But with Ireland, we're supposed to have pretty much upwards, like 25, 26 tomorrow, even 27 possibly.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
It's 27 today. Look.
It did get up to 27 today, and yeah, this weekend is supposedly the hottest of the year.
For those of you listening in Australia, stop laughing.
It's
hot here.
Yeah.
Let's fucking warm, you little bitches.
Like I have talked.
27 is a joke.
It's a bad Tuesday on a fucking winter. Like it's the middle of a hailstorm.
It's like, better put on the fucking
Shitty January.
Yeah, I've talked to so many other people in like Poland and Romania, where they're, the summer. This is 27.
Yeah.
27 is a cold Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's just
But
it's a joke.
I can't
That's
can't
what they want.
explain it though, but it's hotter here. It's a different heat. It's not a nice heat.
We're more northern.
It's dead.
It's also
like
because of the wind. We get like a lot of Atlantic breeze, so we
breeze
scorch.
today.
There was a bit.
To be honest, I usually think it feels hotter here
Yeah.
than like when you have the same temperature in Spain, let's say.
Yeah, totally, 100%. I came back from Spain, years ago. And it was really hot in Spain. It was like 32, and it was really, really hot.
Yeah.
But I came back here and it was like 22, but it was a different, horrible, icky fucking
I think
heat.
it's just
a
it
dry
must be
heat
the
there.
latitude.
It's a
humidity
humidity
levels,
levels are fucking horrible. So yeah, we complain because it rains all the time, and then when it gets really hot, it's a wet and sticky tropical heat.
Yeah, usually we're down from the rain. Now we're down from sweat.
Yeah.
Like I predict we're going to be the new Spain. So with global warming, like we like when we were kids, it was 20 degrees, something like that. But I think like we're going to be the new Spain. We're going to be the place that everyone wants to go for nice, reasonable temperatures, and then Spain is just going to turn into the Sahara as it migrates north
exactly.
and north and north.
Totally. Yeah.
People moving from Costa del Sol to Donabate.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, got a lovely 3-bed Donabate.
Yeah. There's going to be chalets in fucking Donabate.
In Donabate.
In the villa this day. Like it's going to be Sky One, the villa.
Yeah.
And you can fuck off in all Britain. You're not in the EU anymore.
The villa, Ballyfermot. We joined this couple shagging on the balcony.
Yeah,
but it's
speaking of Britain, did you see
they had a bit of a boo-boo, I hear.
Brits abroad. Yeah, in our final Euro roundup of the season. Thanks be to Christ, lads. The Italians did it. They did us a solid.
It's gone to Rome.
It's gone to Rome, and they fucking deserved it too, man.
But did we not see it coming? The
what
kind of behavior.
We're gonna win. Oh,
well,
the behavior.
The behavior is a fucking.
The behavior was
shit show.
Was disgraceful.
But like, it's not like this is that new.
No.
Am I wrong?
No, totally not. Like England have been historically bad.
Yeah,
but
historically bad in other countries. They've managed to reach a new low by fucking kicking the shite out their own gaff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's nothing fucking new there. Like that happens all over the world with like not in football.
As a lot of people
scumbags wreck their own fucking gaff all the time. Like.
As one newspaper in the UK pointed out, it was like these scenes aren't that they're on a bigger scale. But they're not things you don't see on a Saturday night in any city.
Yeah.
There's fucking yobos going around taking drugs, bashing people, and just acting.
But it's the same thing. It's the same thing if you go into an absolute, like even in Ireland, you go into an absolute shithole area. There, people are dropping rubbish. People are burning fucking cars out. You're like, this is your area. You're literally dropping tens of thousands of euro from the value of everyone's house. What are you doing? No one want, like, I don't care.
Shit on your neighbour's lawn.
Yeah,
like,
I don't care. I don't care how hard you fucking are or anything like that. who wants to live on a rubbish tip?
Yeah.
Nobody. Like, as in, would you not just make it a bit nice? Why?
Could give a
pissing
fuck.
on your couch. Like that's what you're doing.
Could
What
give
the
a fuck. I know
fuck?
there's just door bags.
I don't get it. Like
But like
the hardo-meter has to go somewhere. Is that it? Is that it?
Lack
Did
of
you see?
education.
Yeah.
At the risk of sounding like my mother.
It's a lack of education and resources, really.
But I don't think it's education to like not like want to wreck your house. No one needs to be taught that. You
No,
shouldn't
I know,
have to
but,
be
like,
taught.
It's a
just-
fact. It's a part of just not
Giving a
caring
fuck,
about your giving a fuck about anything. You don't
Is
care
it
about
because
that,
you're
you know?
given a house for free? Is it one of these? You know,
Got this gaff off the socials, you know.
exactly
like,
entitled for nothing. Like
It is. It's a
part
part
of
of
it.
that. It's a
yeah,
part.
that's definitely part.
Look,
of it.
it's a grand thing. Like it's a part of everything. Like lack of education, lack of parenting, all of them things that come into it.
I'd say lack of parenting. Yeah, fucking probably.
Well, that,
like.
that and like where like you grew up. You know what I mean? Like certain areas. If you grew up there, you're already fucking halfway down.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fucking shithole.
And it's you know, obviously there are exceptions, but there is like it's a generational thing. It's not just one generation of bad parenting. It's been generations and generations of bad parenting. Whereby
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
people
like-
have been raised by bad parents aren't going to suddenly turn around and be parent of the year. Do you know what I mean? Because they don't know.
Well,
anything.
I
And
like
that's
for our generation. At least for me, I remember growing up, and it was like there used to be things in school when you were a kid. Your parents bedded into you for littering was the big thing,
yeah.
and it was do not fucking litter, and it would just bed into you, and you don't do
Quite-
it.
quite
And when you
lit-
see someone
quite
doing it, you're
literally
like,
bed
what
into
are you
you,
fucking doing?
Yeah,
like
but
I said, you
it-
reckon, but you see some people do it these days, and you're like, you live here.
Yeah.
What? And like 2 feet away from a bin, it's like, you fucking dirtbag.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. I get the whole, like, you're growing up, so you have to be tough around your friends or something, so you're trying to do that. But there's a limit. You know what I mean? Like,
ego. You can blame a teenager for that, for ego and fucking whatever else, and trying to.
but
act
there's a lot of
hard.
non-teenagers
But, like,
doing
if
exactly
you're
the
a
same
fucking
thing.
adult doing it, it's like to use the northern catch yourself on there, pal. You know,
Like, there was someone in this area, actually, the other day that I went out, walked the dog, like last week, something like that. And in the green, there was a like scorch mark where there was a fire the previous night, and like it was a
That'll
scorch mark
No-
of some
nothing
like
for-
no, but I mean it didn't like what they were burning was like a metal frame, which
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
burn obviously,
So they were just
and I was
pouring
just
petrol
like
on a metal
I was like
or
who the
something.
fuck, and it turns out the girlfriend had been walking the night previous and had seen some guy hood up, pulled, dragging something out to the field and then burning it, but like something that doesn't burn as like the mattress springs,
I just
you know,
thought,
it's just-
it's fucking.
Dude,
what are you doing?
maybe if you attended science class once or twice, you would learn the things that burn.
But
well,
it's
and
just
we
like
can
there's
start
a-
a proper fire if you
I-
want to.
I know you have a bin. What are you doing?
But it's like,
what are you doing?
It's different. Isn't it mad though? Like different. Like take for instance where I live. Like where I live is relatively okay. Like it's not fucking perfect.
It's not the Ritz Carlton.
No, of course not.
It's
But
around the
it's-
corner from here.
It's but it's fine. It's like exactly like
Exactly
here, near
like
enough,
here.
right? But across the road, right? If you walk
Gets a bit. It gets a
3
bit dodgy.
minutes across the road, a bit dodgy. It's like fucking
Beirut. Yeah,
It
yeah.
is just
Absolute spice bag.
yeah. It is
Yeah, yeah.
rough as fuck.
Can't
What like, and it is a shithole. Like, not like it's gross. Like the shops there, if you go into the shops, there's like just a corner
What
shop.
you mean you don't do heroin?
No, it's cool. Just the look of the shop as well, everything. But that's the whole point. Like, if you grow up in this place where everything looks like shit,
Yeah.
why the fuck would you care?
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
The one that I mean, literally,
like it's down to the government
But the
as well,
thing
because
for-
you're
for-
growing up in a place where it's just no one gives a fuck.
I get that, but the whole thing, like, if you were to buy a house and you paid X amount, would you not be like, I would like to keep the value of
Yeah.
this house, you know, or increase it?
I would like
True,
even-
but I don't
As
think
opposed
many
to
people
some-
buy houses in these
It-
estates.
that's the
You
thing.
know what I mean?
That's
In these
the thing.
areas.
This
That's
these
the
are-
problem.
these are
It's
council.
rarely it's rarely a job of getting on the property ladder. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, I have a gaff.
Oh, no. I am entitled to
Yeah,
this
sorry,
fucking
yes,
house.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what you mean you're going to take it away from me? I haven't done a thing to get it, but I've had it for the past 5 years. Therefore, you can't take it from me.
And
Like, get fucked.
And we're going to open the phone lines to
To Jono like, on the corner. Like,
what you mean?
I like doing smack 5 days a week.
Speaking, actually,
Fucking
I cut down to 5.
Straighten her out on the green now by the fire, yeah?
listen,
I lit that bleeding fire the other day.
we all think what went on with England and the fans, like trying to break into their own stadium and wrecking the place. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we it's not surprising to me, anyways.
To be honest,
No.
that was
But
one of
we-
that was
hold on.
one of the things that put me off. I think, like, because I used to like football when I was a kid, because everybody did.
Yeah.
You know, and I think like, Jesus, it's so long ago now, but I'm nearly sure this was one of the things that put me off going to any of these matches, and therefore, interest just died off because I was just like, it just looks like Yobtown. Like, it's just bogue. Like, especially back then, it was just story after story of fucking skinheads or whatever. That's so much kicking heads.
Have you ever had an experience of like crowd trouble or like yobos kicking off in your in growing up? Like,
no.
Well, it depends. Like I said, maybe not at matches and things like that, but in general, like, we always we grew up having to deal with.
No. We're talking about football. Like,
football.
I had one as a kid where I was like, I wasn't at a match around, and I was coming back on the boat from Wales with my parents, and obviously there was a lot of football fans that had been at a match, I think, and something kicked off anyway. We were like, the old boats, the old Stena boats. They had like the big sort of all-in-one cafe area where everyone just kind of sat.
There was nowhere else. That was it.
So like we were over one side, and there's lads that have clearly been like saucing all day, absolutely minimum
looking for trouble.
They were like at the start
keeping to themselves.
They were boisterous and they were in grand form. But halfway through, anyway, now I must have only been about 7 or 8 at the time, and it fucking kicks off anyway with the lads. There's digs thrown next of all. A fucking porcelain teacup just like whizzes past my head and smashes.
As a kid,
I was like 7 or 8, man.
Woo.
I shat the bed, and I was like the water. I was like, and of course, instantly, all of them just went. Bullocks. You literally killed. You killed the aggression. I took
we made a little hairy kid cry.
Yeah.
The wolf boy. He's obviously performing tonight. Leave him be. Leave him be. Like,
Oh,
but you could have saved someone's life.
What train are we
quite
on?
possibly. But the funny part was that they were like. There was security on the boat. They came over, broke everything up, anything. They were paraded past me to apologise.
Oh,
like
God.
school children.
Was there security on that?
I think the security guard.
Is there security on those ferries?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Right.
They're well used to it. Like they. But yeah, that was one for me. Scary at the time. But
I never had any experience with like crowd. Like
proper yobs.
Out of the three of us, I'm the only one who went to like a big Euros. Right, I went to the Euros. Fuck, what year was that?
Like 22? No.
16? 16?
Was that what year did we play Sweden and we beat Italy?
It was the French one.
It was put off, wasn't it? It was put off by 1 year. So
no, this was before, way before that.
Oh, so 2012?
No, not I don't know. Whatever. It was the French one, 2018. I think it was 18.
Yes.
Yeah, because that was the
one.
The last
anyway,
one.
It doesn't matter.
So I went over to me and a friend of mine got offered tickets. Yeah. So where I was like, he was like, why don't we drive? I was like, that's a great idea. We'll totally do that. And I was like, we get this guy.
Was that before or after the birthday trip that we've already described, or the
after?
That was after. So you, Jesus.
Yeah.
So who was it on this trip? Just the two of you?
I can't believe you signed up to get in the car with him again.
No. Oh, there's more to this story, right? So the guy who could get the tickets was not the guy who ended up going. So he could get the tickets.
And was this like a final or something?
No, it was Ireland's opening game Ireland had made it to this one.
Right.
And it was their opening game.
And where was it?
It was in Paris.
In Paris.
Okay.
Well, that game was anyway.
Yeah, it was Ireland playing Sweden in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea, he was like, I can get tickets. Mm-hmm. So I was like, great, let's do that, right? That sounds awesome. And he's like, yeah, but I can't go. So I was like, it was like, this was, we would plan to go.
Right.
And then like 2 weeks beforehand,
he
was
like,
I can't go.
Oh, okay.
You can still have tickets. There's 4 of them. But me and the other lads who are going can't go now because I have to work or whatever.
So you're left holding the hat. Like.
So I'm like, what am I meant to do now? Like, do I go
on my own and be
I'm not going on my own.
Do I wrangle some more people in?
Is what I did. Yeah. So I rang.
I was meant to go, but then I got offered a job working on a Euros show. So I was like, "Fuck, I need to take this."
Of course. But you weren't one of the initial people. You were after the wrangle.
Prick.
It's fucking gay.
That's what he told me at the time.
Because they weren't my tickets. They were his tickets.
Right.
But I was
and you had
going.
4 to spare.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so
3
it's
to
like,
spare.
right. So the tickets were paid for. So it's like, right. Ringing people going, right, look, free ticket if you want. What we do? Do you want to go?
Free ticket?
We're going to drive. But they were already paid for.
But they weren't looking for money. It was fine. Free ticket.
Yeah,
Surely the Euros are pricey, are they not?
not really.
No?
They're like
They're hard.
Oh,
to
this
get.
was like early on, I'm assuming, in the contest. Like, this
Tickets-
wasn't finals.
the
like,
tickets
was it?
into a
Tickets-
match aren't
Tickets
expensive.
are hard to get.
Are
They're
they
hard
not
to
mad
get
money towards
at
the end?
cost price. They're
No.
normal. Like at cost price, they aren't that expensive. The problem is once someone gets a cost price
The
price
touts,
ticket,
like,
it
yeah.
go- that's when.
But
you're
this
paying.
was so early on that
These are-
touts weren't
yeah,
a
they think these are
consideration.
official tickets, but
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So I rang a guy, a friend of ours, who it's a very love-hate relationship.
Right.
I love the guy because he's my friend. He's a friend for a long time.
I hate him because he's a prick.
Yeah, of course. We've been through a lot. Whatever, like I'll always look out for him. Whatever, I'll always be there. Blah blah blah. But he's a fucking cunt. Like he's a full-on dickhead.
Like,
Especially-
cunt in
especially-
what way? Like,
Only not.
He's not
mainly when he's drunk.
He's all
90%.
right. He's all right when
like
he's
Jekyll
sober.
and Hyde. Like,
Yes.
well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I know a few of them.
If Hyde was an arsehole as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
devil. A
it's
devil
like
we
a
call him,
Jekyll and
yeah.
Hyde, but when Jekyll came out, he was just way more of an arsehole.
Right. More to deal with in a night
but,
out.
No, when he gets drunk, he's not a dickhead. He's a dickhead generally, but when he's
gets
when
mean.
he's drunk,
Oh, he's a mean drunk.
He turns into a fucking just a
Liability.
horrible person.
Right.
So I was like, right, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'll ask him, and I said to him, like, look, do you want to do this without fucking boozing, right? Because it's literally
What a suggestion.
literally drive over, right? It was literally drive over from Dublin to Paris.
So get the ferry all the way to
get the-
Cherbourg or something?
No, get the ferry to England,
Oh,
drive
and
through England,
tunnel,
Eurotunnel into Paris, right? And then go to the game and back.
Right.
So there's fucking.
And were you just saying to him, this is just with me and you, or there's two other
well, there was
chappos?
so to cut down costs, he was like, can we get two others?
We need to get two bodies.
Right,
to fill.
okay.
So one of the guys that was going to go, he was like, yeah, I'll go. Right? I was like, a friend of mine was like, oh, Grant. So then 2 days before he pulled out, and he was like, look, I can't go, but my little brother and his
that you
mate,
don't know.
I do know him. I knew
a few
him.
times. Yeah,
Right,
I met
okay,
him as
okay.
well.
And
He's
he's
all
like-
right. He's all right. I thought.
Bit of a wild card at the same
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
him and his mate can go.
Right.
And I was like, all right, fuck it.
Him and
Just
his
cut
mate.
Yeah.
So a
Yeah.
definite wild card there. You've no
yeah,
idea.
his mate was definitely a wild card.
Yeah.
So we just fucking decided to go. We
It's a
go.
roll. It's a
Yeah.
massive dice
Oh
roll.
my God! This is an absolute perfect shitstorm. Jesus Christ!
It
And
wa-
then there was an escaped convict, I think. But we don't have a
He
choice.
would have
We had
been
to get.
sound.
No, yeah.
Shit, Nami.
Yeah, I think there was a smackhead as well. Now, he was just off the smack. It would be grand. It'd be grand.
So we start off on the trip. The boat was fine. Get the boat. We're driving through England to Paris. And I was like, I start feeling
No red flag so far.
no red flags. I was like, look, you're driving to me, mate. I was like, you drive.
And then I'll
Blah,
take
blah, blah.
over afterwards.
Yeah. So eventually, right. So we're driving. We get to France, and we're like, right, where are we going to park? Didn't really think this.
Yeah.
This, but where are we?
I'm
gonna
assuming
park?
it's in like the center of Paris.
Yeah.
Like,
And I was like, right, we'll probably have to park somewhere real far out.
yeah.
And then like try to
Walk
walk
it
and
in,
make
yeah.
our way there.
Yeah.
So that's what we did, right? So we parked in a multi-story car park.
Right. Arsehole of nowhere. in
Arsehole
Paris.
of nowhere, in the middle of
Yeah.
Paris.
And get the metro in. Was that the?
We didn't go anywhere near the fucking metro because
Oh.
it was packed and it was like the metro was scary. So we were like, right, we're not.
They speak French down there.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bit.
Sacre bleu.
There is a bit about that. I get to that.
Belay?
Oh, putain.
Oh yeah, I'd say it could be a fucking disaster. Like
So basically,
end up in fucking Antwerp.
yeah. But the minute we got to Paris, all the other deals and plans went out the window.
Yeah.
He got out of the car and was like, "Oh, I'm getting fucking hammered." I was like, "Well, what the?"
And
fuck?
everyone's sober at this stage.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Stone
yeah.
Cold sober, and he was like, "I'm getting hammered," and he got hammered quick. Like went to a bar, got like 3 shorts, banged them into him, shot.
You'd
and
obviously time before the match to walk over
he was
and
fucking
to stop at the
raging being
shot.
alcoholic. You know, fucking. There's no fucking
Jesus.
need.
Jesus.
So he's fucking hammered, right? He gets hammered, and we're like, right, we have to get to the game now. So we're like, right, we'll start walking. And I was like, can we get a taxi? And it's packed now. Like Paris is packed with because
Parties in the streets.
it was in France.
yeah.
It wasn't in. It's not like this year where it was spread out. It was in Paris. It was in France,
Right.
so mostly in Paris. There was lots of games going on. So there was
Right.
tons of.
Oh, there's
different
lots of games
national-
that and same night, like.
No, there was like 3 games on that day. Two are in Paris,
Right.
but then the next day there's another game. and
Yeah,
all this
yeah.
stuff.
People
They've
going
They
wild.
have 2 large stadiums in Paris, so
Yeah.
they can hold different games in the city at the same time.
Hmm.
And they'd like a fair few different teams would have had like at least 2 games in Paris in the group stages.
Hmm.
So you had lots of different groups of fans. Now they were very clever in that one, in that they sent all the English fans down to the south of France,
Yeah.
to
Right.
Marseille, where the fucking shit kickers are down there. The
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
Marseille
Right,
lads can fuck.
they'll handle
They
them.
sent the
Yeah.
they sent
Right.
the
But
English.
they
They sent
fucking
the
they
English and the
properly
Russians
did that
down
on
there.
purpose.
Yeah,
They were like,
oh,
yeah,
did.
the English
Right.
and Russians can deal with them
Yeah.
down in fucking.
Go down to
Yeah, yeah.
Marseille, to the
Good
fucking
luck to
ghettos
you.
of Marseille,
Yeah,
and have
yeah.
a fucking scrap down there, lads,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we're not
yeah.
having you up in the fancy part.
So we start walking, and the crowds are going mental, right? So we walk up and we get into this fucking section of up to where the Moulin Rouge is,
Right.
and it is just
Pigull, I believe
wall
the area is
to wall Irish fans, right?
Right, right,
wall to
right.
wall, you like just proper scenes,
Yeah, yeah.
and
But
there was
I'd say all friendly scenes.
chaos, right?
Right.
No,
But friendly chaos? No.
course,
Right.
Yeah,
like
Irish
all
fans, yeah.
Irish friends. So the John's Arms were there, and they're kind of like walking by, and then like the crowd would be like fucking singing chants to them, and then they're like getting in, doing a
Right,
couple
right,
of
yeah.
dances,
All
and
friendly. All
all
friendly.
great,
Yeah.
pissed.
Nice.
Everyone
Nice.
rad arse,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like
really friendly.
yeah,
we're
yeah,
really
yeah.
friendly, yeah.
Yeah.
Despite-
We're not robbing their hats and
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
shitting
No,
on their
no.
mothers. Like, yeah.
None of that. Climbing up lampposts and all, but no one cared because
Yeah,
it was all
grand.
friendly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, I didn't see any sort of violence there. Not one
There
bit.
was very few, and that's like we've. Yeah,
No one fucked
Yeah.
around there.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I'm not saying we're the golden child here at all. I'm sure we're cunty. There are a few cunty behaviours, but like,
you'll always get one or two.
Yeah, of
one or
course,
two,
of course.
But like in general, the Irish fans are pretty much Irish football fans are welcome everywhere
Yeah,
around
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
world
yeah,
because
yeah.
of our reputation. I mean, we're not quite there as the Japanese do, who actually clean up after themselves.
Right.
Clean the stadium after themselves as a
and
mark of respect.
bow in
Yeah.
front of the bar.
Which-
Like, yeah, not quite
It's
there.
pretty cool, but like we do like great things like sing.
They have their
They
own.
clean- they
they
clean
have
up
their
their,
own
like-
weirdness.
Yeah, they
Sing
clean
song.
up their, like, you know, a schoolgirl panties vending machine after. They restock. They're all good. But yeah, no, I imagine the Irish are a lot, I don't know,
There was
cap on it.
yeah, well, we're
To a
just,
certain, like, they still go mad, but they're not kicking your teeth in mad.
no, they don't like they. There was the one where they dented somebody's car, and then everyone was just sliding like €20 in the gap in the.
Really, yeah.
Yeah. So the fucking car was like half full of.
That
cash.
says it all to me, at
You know what I mean?
least.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
they were partying or whatever, and someone was up on the car giving it loads, and then they realised, oh fuck, we're after denting your man's car. So there was a whip around, and people were just sliding
Fuck.
20s in through the window. Just
Jesus.
to pay for it, like
Holy shit.
that's
nearly above and beyond.
That's what you're
nearly.
talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
They were singing love songs to the female gendarmerie about like.
Oh, I fucking saw that video. I
Oh,
did
well,
see
there
that
was,
video.
there was a great one they had about the Swedes as well. That there was something about. Oh fuck! It was like you won the match, but or something about their women are hotter than ours, basically.
yeah,
And it was like a whole song, and even the Swedes were just like, "God damn it, they're a funny bunch."
Yeah.
God damn it, they're right.
So two other little bits
God
on
damn
this
it,
whole
Helga,
trip.
you look ravishing tonight.
Yeah, my God, are they all men coming over? What the hell is this?
So the match was about to kick off. We had to get there. There was nowhere getting there, and then we seen a taxi. So we hailed this taxi.
Right.
Crazy.
Still
as
a
fuck.
bit away.
Yeah. It's crazy as fucking thing. What we didn't know is we could have drove the car straight into the stadium and parked in the car park. It
Oh,
was
for
like that.
fuck's sake.
So we didn't realize that
hell.
till we got there. But we get into this taxi. Mad guy. It's in the middle of Ramadan, so like he
was a Muslim
He was
fellow,
Muslim. He
yeah.
started talking to us about Ramadan. But then the other guy, my mate, who was fucking flutered, decides he
This
can
is the
speak-
bogey mate now, is it?
He's not. Well, yes,
The
yes, that
Jekyll
guy.
or Hyde
yeah,
or one
yeah.
of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hiding the jacket.
He's full on Jekyll and Hyde at this point. But he thinks he can speak French, right?
Right.
Does not speak a
the
fucking
same,
word
the
of
same way he
French.
thinks he can speak Irish.
Yeah. So like just like so he just starts like
Ufasa, because he.
so he just starts talking to your man in like what he thinks is French. So it's basically speaking English slowly.
Is
with
it
a,
even pigeon French?
with
No.
a lot of with like wheeze in there, a lot of like we shall go up say la
It's
road.
English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's and I'm like,
It's a
what
French person speaking English. Is that what it is?
Speaking
Like, yeah.
English with a French accent.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
And I'm
fucking
looking at him
Christ.
going, what are you doing?
And then saying it slower.
Yeah.
That's the- and louder. Why don't you understand me?
But
Why
you-
don't you understand me?
I can't believe
But at this point, at this stage, we had lost the other two. They went to go
juniors.
the two juniors.
They saw what was coming.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
ditched you with the fucking the Senor Bogue or
Yeah.
Monsieur Bogue, should I say?
They fucked off. And we end up getting this taxi with these two other guys who, by the way, one lived in Paris, spoke perfect French, and was pissing himself in the back of the taxi going, what is this guy in the front talking about? And then he kept on.
Your man wasn't French, though.
No, your man wasn't. He was English, but I think he was English.
Lived there for donkeys.
French anyway.
He spoke perfect French, but he was like, he kept on like laughing and then just going to your man. And then your man, and then he'd do something.
Yeah.
But your man was a lunatic. He was driving on the wrong side of the road.
Le buffoon, huh?
All the rules went out the window because it was packed. So we get to the stadium, and the weirdest thing, I'm walking in, it's all like, there's such a good vibe, right? There's so many people, but the Swedes and the Irish, it was great vibe. There's no bad vibe.
No animosity.
There's no trouble there.
One guy, I'm walking up on this giant Viking-looking fucker, like he's about 7 foot tall, huge, big beard, just points at me. He's like, "You." I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
I was like,
now
it's
starts.
happening.
Yeah.
Oh, and I get this guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You."
Techno Viking, that guy.
I just looked. I was like, "Yes." And he genuinely bear hugged me, picked me up. Now fucking picked me
That's
up.
impressive. That's impressive.
Picked me up, bear hugged me. Is like, your beard, I love it. Picks me up, swings me around like a child, puts me down. And then said, so totally. I hit the deck like, I would.
And tied the condom after we were done. Yeah, nice guy.
He even had
he
the-
cleaned up.
He had the
Rock me
manners
to
to
sleep.
wipe and all.
Not one drop poured out of my arse when I stood back up.
Jesus. And then my finest moment in this whole trip, the moment I liked the best about the whole trip is when Jacqueline Hyde discovered that the UEFA don't sell alcohol in stadiums. It's all non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
So
So
he
he
goes
bought
up against
6
like
In
pints.
fairness, that would have. Oh my God,
6 points.
that would have got me. Like.
Six
Despite
points
the
and-
fact that Heineken are one of their main sponsors.
I thought Carlsberg were as well, or whatever.
Well, yeah.
but either way, like, as in,
yeah.
you can't like for this
Amstel-
probably the exact
this-
reason.
yeah.
for the
Yeah,
Jekyll and Hyde
exactly.
situation.
Yeah.
Not even paper or not
So he
paper
bought,
plastic.
you go up and you bought 6 pints of
pints of non-alcoholic.
non-alcoholic, took two subs, and everyone did it. There was trays of pints everywhere. And I was like, that's muck.
Was it like a newly brought in thing at the time or something?
Yeah,
I think it was the
non-alc-
Heineken Zero or
It
something.
wasn't. That hadn't been invented yet. This was before that. This was
Fuck.
Chalet or something like that. Some weird shit. It was gross.
That, in fairness, that would have got me like as a clueless retard. Like as in when it comes to like football or anything like that. That would have fucked me.
he made up for it afterwards. trust
Yeah.
me.
He didn't.
So I'm assuming he kicked up stink from this.
Nah, he was too jolly about the match and stuff,
Right,
so he's in
okay.
good form then.
Right.
After when he starts getting on the whiskies and stuff, and he got messy, and then trying to get like.
So during the match, everything was good.
Yeah, during the
You-
match was great. It was
Right,
great
right,
crack. We
yeah.
drew 1-1. Everything
Yeah.
was lovely.
Yeah.
Ireland took the lead, I believe.
He
Yeah,
sobered
Ireland-
up to some degree.
Yeah. And then Ireland, like I think Zlatan scored, and it was great.
Yeah.
And to see that man in person was like, oh my god, that man is a beast. He's so
giant.
big.
It was mad
But
fun,
after
yeah.
it, he starts just getting belligerent afterwards, and I'm trying to wrestle him.
So
back
this
to
is in the pub after.
This is way trying to trying to get back to the car because we have to hit the road.
Is
So he
that-
didn't sober up in the match with no drink.
No.
In
No.
what I assume is around 2 hours, a little bit
yeah,
over.
well, 90 minutes for the match.
I
and
think
then-
he
plus,
fucking-
plus
2
bullshit
hours,
in between, like
At
2
least.
hours.
Knowing him, he
I don't
probably
know.
sniffed someone out with a fucking flask somewhere.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So
Had a lick of the urinal wall.
oh, stop.
The urinal cake, delicious.
Trying to
I'd only
find
take a half.
trying to find the other two, the young fellas,
Right.
and we end up going back to. He drags me to this fucking.
The pub, nightclub.
No, it wasn't. It was like a. It was like
Squat
it looked like
play.
a cafe thing, but it was
Again, you
night.
got to remember the game was at what, like 3 in the afternoon or 5?
Yeah.
3 or
Oh,
5?
right, okay.
So this
So
is
early
nighttime,
days.
yeah, so this
okay,
is
okay.
nighttime now.
Afternoon,
Yeah.
And he
afternoon,
drags me into this Nigerian, I think it was a Nigerian restaurant, right? But it was a Nigerian restaurant for fucking Nigerians.
But
Like, it
also
wasn't-
a restaurant.
Yeah, it wasn't a restaurant. It was just a place where Nigerians hung out, and this woman fed them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And when you show up, it's
we show up and
everyone-
he's fucking
yeah, the whole
gee-eyed
bar
with
turns around
with
you. Mm.
a bag of cans into this restaurant.
Not only are you not Nigerian, you're
Yeah.
not French.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
You're speaking fucking another
In
language.
fairness to that place, she was fucking lovely. She came out and she was like a mother. She was like, she started feeding us all this.
Exactly what is needed. Like.
Nice.
A bit, but she
Nice.
started feeding us this crazy ass food. And he was like, try this. I was like, what's this? He's like, try it. Not telling me no.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, I don't
It's
want
PCP.
to. It's gross. The food was gross.
Oh.
It was some weird meats going on there.
Dirt
Like-
cakes. There you go.
Yeah, what meat is that? What meat is
Dust
that?
cake.
It's a meat. Bush meat.
It's a meat.
Gary, in fairness, we have eaten some questionable meat in our time. So like to say, if you're telling me that this meat is questionable, it's pretty fucking
Yeah, exactly.
questionable.
All it was. When she wouldn't tell you what meat it was,
Yeah.
it
That's
freaked me out.
always a
I
good
can't tell if
sign.
this is
Yeah,
a hoof or an eyelid.
She just said meat.
Yeah.
It's like, this is meat, this is not meat. I was like,
It's whatever we found in the bins.
So eventually, after everything, I think the two lads ended up like going off trying to find coke or some shit, and they
of
got
course.
they robbed, of course. So they were in a steamer whenever they got back, also pissed.
Right, still in the same pub or restaurant
Restaurant,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, we met up there. I found a car. We got into the car eventually.
Into the car. Were you not drinking for the rest of the day / night?
No,
you
I
were-
wasn't drinking. I was driving because we had to get back to the
The
ferry.
rest of them were also supposed
Oh,
to be part of
you
the
weren't there
driving
for the
team.
night. You
No,
weren't
they
there
were
for-
organising.
It was just a drive there, drive back jobby, just
Oh,
to watch
shit.
the match.
Okay.
That was the whole point.
And what time is your ferry? Like,
And we were meant to
early.
fucking work as well. It was meant to be doing vox pops and all this other stuff for work.
So your ferry back was like not 2 a.m. Like
no, it was like 11 the
oh,
next
fuck.
morning.
Okay, so
So hit the road.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm
okay.
hitting the road, and then this fucking guy starts fucking piping up. Because he's talking, he's like, this guy in the back keeps eyeballing me.
Oh no.
And like, you know, like, when people
He's
look at me.
looking at me.
Yeah, when people look at me, you know, they don't know the strength within.
And
Oh, he's doing it.
Oh
like,
no.
I took a jiu-jitsu class.
you know,
in
you know, I
1986.
can handle myself. You know, I can handle myself.
I'm from
like.
Kilbarrack.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Shut the fuck up. So he
I
starts
used to get battered back then.
and now these two lads in the back would fucking murder him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
And they're not looking at him.
No,
Yeah,
they're
of course
like,
not.
They might be in their early 20s, but they will fucking savage you, you madman.
They're not looking at you.
Yeah.
They're laughing at you.
Yeah.
Very different.
So
Because
eventually-
you're looking at them.
Yeah.
Eventually, I lose
Look
the
at
rag.
Whitey.
and
He is
I'm-
fucking stupid. I eat him.
Fucking hell.
I
Like, how
eventually-
locked was he at this point?
He's
Like,
still belligerent.
legless or.
belligerent, like, but belligerent to like what you're looking at. You know that, and then starts like thinking he's being smart and like piping up saying, "Oh yeah, if people in the back keep looking at," and all this stuff like. So I lose the head and I pull over in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like I'm in, like we're in.
Oh, you've gotten out of that bar, so you've
Oh,
moved
we're
on.
on the road.
So that's not an issue anymore. Whoever
Yeah.
those two fucking randomers were.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
We
So-
left.
but he's still piping on about
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh yeah. That's classic.
No, these two randomers are the people in the back, the young fellas that
Oh.
came with us.
Oh.
And he started- yeah.
Okay, now I'm confused.
No.
Jesus. Okay, so
So
the two
it's not-
random guys
I can't-
that aren't random.
I can't remember why there was a fight between him and one of the young fellas, but there was like an argument, and it was Heckle and Joyd, fucking my mate.
Yeah.
He started it for some reason. I don't. He was like, I don't know what it was. It's
So
something-
you guys are sitting. You're driving. Obviously, he's next to you.
He's
They're
in front.
sitting out of earshot in the back, or probably
Well,
very
in
much
ear-
in there,
full
in
in
earshot.
earshot with
saying,
him.
"I'm going to take these in
Yeah.
a car
Yeah.
that I can't move in."
And then
Yeah.
these are saying to me like, they're just like,
While they have your back. So
Yeah.
like, here, they could. You're threatening them, and yet they could easily just.
punch the back of your head into a coma.
Just choke you to sleep.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
no, but he said that one of the,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The two young fellas, like
Princess.
they wouldn't
You
do
should
it.
have just
Over
fucking
soon.
opened his door, fucked him out, and go figure it out.
Well, the two young fellas kept leaning. One was like, "You're gonna have to do something," because he's like,
He's about to snap.
He can't start getting digging them out, like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, no, yeah." And then he's like, "Oh yeah, well this," and I'm like,
Oh,
"Right." So I
no.
jam on the brakes in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of rural Paris,
Mm.
and I was just like, "Get out before I drag you out by your teeth."
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Where am I meant to go?" Boof, out the car.
Figure it out.
Drove off. And I left him in the middle of
the dust.
nowhere.
Brilliant.
Nowhere.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you should have done.
give a fuck what happens to you. So I drove off.
You finally overstepped it. Like,
Yeah. I drove up, but I did.
You're
I went,
bogeying everyone in the car,
Yeah.
and I assumed the other lads were fine. They weren't.
No, they
fucking
were
assholes.
just drunk. But,
Yeah,
like,
but they weren't starting
no,
on them. They
no.
weren't doing anything out
It
of.
was something to do with the coke. Something to do with like they
I think to do with the bogey. He can't. Well, not that he can't handle
it's
his
like they
drink, but
went to
that's
get
what he's
coke and
like
so,
when he's
like,
drinking.
like there's someone's at the robbing me and all. I don't know what it was. Can't remember. Didn't want to
Yeah.
remember.
But they were in the right. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course they were. Yeah. Oh, definitely. So eventually I went back for him because I didn't want to leave. really.
Just to hit him
I
tim
didn't
with
want
the
to have
car.
to explain it to the
Yeah.
other people that
Yeah.
I know him. It's like,
Yeah. I knew his wife.
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, well,
I went back and banged her.
excellent.
Maybe you should have done that. But no, fuck that. Like I think
that's
it's
a different show altogether.
So I went back, right, but he gets back into the car and I was like, not a fucking word.
Yeah.
Right? So he sits there like staring out the window like a
Sulking.
fucking toddler, right?
Yeah.
And that was that. That was the end. That he literally fell asleep about 10 minutes later. Thank fuck. So did the others, and I had a peaceful little drive for the
Right.
next fucking few hours.
France is lovely this time of year.
So we hit Wales, right? And we're like fucking 20 minutes before the boat.
Oh no.
And
Someone's alarm clock goes off.
I am hooring through Wales at
Yeah,
this point,
yeah,
trying to get
yeah.
to the ferry, like
Yeah,
fucking.
Is time looking tight as well?
Oh,
so
I'm
yeah,
fucked.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
get there and we missed the ferry by about half an hour, right?
Oh.
So the next one isn't till 8,
That
right?
evening, yeah.
So, but there's a bit. What? Wait.
But wait, there's more. Order now.
8
and
the
you'll
next
receive.
morning.
No, that night. So
Right.
it's like it's 11 o'clock in the day or something.
Oh, okay.
So, but
They'd driven through the night from Paris to get to.
Oh,
Wales
okay,
for an
okay.
11 o'clock
Okay.
sailing in the morning,
Right.
and now they're being pushed to 8 in the evening.
Gotcha.
but no one has money to get the next ferry.
Of course.
Of course, right?
Naturally.
So yeah, of course.
And is like, the two guys going to spot the guy who was starting on them and vice versa? Of
It's
course
the
not.
opposite.
yeah.
So actually, the guy who I think it turned out like he had to spot one of them to get us there, and we just end up playing pool in a pub for like till later on, and then again, he comes out of his fucking skin. Like I've been on 2 trips around Europe with that man, and they've been two of the worst
similar.
fucking experiences of my like in with him, not necessarily the whole trip,
Yeah.
but bits with him.
Jesus.
He has been a fucking nightmare.
A
nightmare.
Absolute nightmare. That is the fucking last thing you need. I hate when people are Jekyll and Hyde when they're drinking because, to be honest, I think that's their true form. And they're when they're sober,
you
they're
learn to mask
hiding.
it. You learn to
Yeah.
mask it,
They're 100% masking it. Like for the most part, like I'm pretty much the same person when I'm drinking. I may take less shit, but like everybody. But that's
No,
it.
you're-
I'm not just swinging at some randomer in a pub.
You're allowed belligerent bollocks when you're sober too. Like,
Exactly,
it's all right,
exactly.
you know what I mean?
Equal.
But-
You know what you're getting.
But I don't think I've ever seen you throw a dig.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
known
you know what
I've known
you're
you
getting.
20 odd years at
Yeah,
this point. So,
you know what you're getting.
Yeah, exactly. Especially, but I always think as well when you get to a fucking age, and I always hate
Oh
this
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Like,
After
I-
a certain age, you're
yeah.
like, I'm too old to have to fucking deal with this shit.
Yeah,
And
but
then
not
I
only
got
that-
to that stage pretty early.
Either
You know, I was like,
or you can't.
yeah, I'm too old to. I don't give a fuck what problem you have. If you it's not for me unless you're physically stopping me from doing something. Then
Yeah,
I just
but
you're not
it's
worth me
not only
time.
that, like there's so many people that I've met, I know that are still like they still go on like they're like
18.
yeah,
Yeah,
16,
yeah.
not even 18, like 16, like
yeah.
where they'll send a message and I'll be like,
I have to prove myself
oh,
in front of my
fucking-
16-year-old friends.
I'll batter you or whatever. I was like, are you what?
Yeah.
Now, granted, I haven't had, I know these people. I haven't had any of these messages, thankfully. But like, who sends it? At the age we are, like, imagine sending someone that, like, I'll be around to you, or like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Grand, I'll put the kettle on. So
Yeah. I'm annoyed at you. Let's not talk for a second and then talk. You know what I mean? Go away, you fool.
Yeah, absolute fool. Like you see, like don't get me wrong. Like you still when you're out drinking, if someone's being a cunt, I mean, someone you don't know for the most part, it's just like, who is this fucking cunt? But at the same time, like back in the day, it was definitely a case of someone gets in a fight, everyone has to jump in and not pull him out of the fight, but jump in and kill his friend. You know what I mean? But nowadays, if someone done that now, you're like, what are you doing? Well, and if they were in the wrong, it's more of more justice these days.
Well,
you know, if that happened, you'd be like, if the guy that you don't know is being a cunt, you'd be like, fuck you, you're a cunt. But
But even on the odd occasion when there is like someone kicks off somewhere and it's one of your mates, it's never a case of right, we're going to war. It's a case of right, something's happened.
What happened?
Here.
Let's
pull everybody apart and just fucking work out what the fucking issue is here because you're both acting like fucking children. And like, you know,
and I do get that like isn't always solvable.
No, yeah,
like, as in you come across cunts that are just looking for a fight.
But
so.
I can tell you this though: if we had this heat constantly, there'd be a lot more of that.
oh man, there was.
Or I think less of it. People would just be, I can't deal with it.
No, the heat heat drives people crazy. Look at Florida.
I was in McDonald's
true.
just
That's
before
true.
we came here. I was sitting in the car park in McDonald's eating a burger, and there was some dude on the phone, no top on, and I'll tell you now, some motherfucker was getting battered, and this guy was in his 30s.
Was it
Boy,
that
he
guy?
he
Was it that guy getting
bald,
battered?
angry, roaring down the phone,
Yeah.
and someone was about to get the head poked
That's the
off
same
him.
though in Dublin every
And
summer.
I just remember thinking, it's like, how bad's my Friday? not that bad.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
But is that like that's the same in Dublin summer, or even like, you know, teetering on winter in Dublin? You'll always see some shithead walking down Grafton Street, the pedestrian road in Dublin city centre, shirt off, could be fucking 10 degrees out, and you're like, scumbag. This guy's a fucking
totally.
Egypt.
Well, what would happen there, right? On that note, actually, I do want to show you something, right?
Okay.
But no, you've seen this. I want to show Dan this, right? This is what happens, right? When when the sun gets
It's too strong for us.
When you fall asleep, right? You've been pissed, and you're like, "There's a nice little fucking what they call deck chair thing."
You roll home after a night
and
out,
you fall asleep.
and you're out the back gardens.
Was this in Dublin, or was this in holidays in Spain, or somewhere sunny?
I think it's in Spain.
It's on holidays,
he'll show you. So this is a video, or we'll put it up on all of our Instagram, Facebook, and all that.
It'll be on the Twitter because
on the Twitter. Yeah. This is a video of a friend of mine, which the video actually went viral.
It's been on Sport Bible and all sorts.
Right. So walk me through it. So he fell asleep.
He's pissed and he fell asleep on a what you call them, deck chair, sun lounger, right? Yeah, and woke up later on, and then he's
4
back.
or 5 hours later.
He's back in his room, and then there's this.
Oh no! The sheen as well. The sheen says it all.
It is the worst sunburn I've ever seen.
Jesus Christ, that is rough. That is so.
He's
rough.
as red as your mic.
Yeah. It's the sheen that really gives it away.
It's the contrast on the thighs. Like it's where his shorts are. You can see like that line there.
Yeah.
That is
horrific.
Like for the most part, Irish people. It's not a combo. It's not a combo. That works well. So, like, I think since we're getting a lot more immigration, it will eventually be a combo, which is great. But as I stand now, no freckles. It's not happening. Like
I've spent the week out working in the sun, and I'm not. I mean, granted, I've been using sunscreen because I'm not a complete.
But you look like a lobster at the end of it, like
a bit. Yeah, I mean, my face is pretty fucking red, despite lathering it in like factor 30 at least twice or 3 times a day.
But you're not looking Spanish at any point.
Not
no matter,
yet.
But no matter how much you sit in the sun, probably not going to get to that degree. Like. But that's it. Like that's the crazy part. Like.
We will take all that though. You will take all the risk of sunburn, the risk of fucking like heat stroke for the good times. Like sun brings out the good times.
Because
winter is great and they have other stuff, but it's shit most of the time.
Yeah.
You don't have the fun in the winter that you have.
But it's just Ireland. Ireland, we don't have blue. It's not even the sun. It's blue skies.
No,
nearly.
I know, but
so
the summer
it's
itself,
rare.
The summer itself brings out the good times. Like think when you're younger.
Because it's rare for us. That's why.
And think of all the crazy shit you've done.
But I mean, compared to like, let's say if you grew up in Spain, it's just like, well, this is every day.
Yeah, exactly.
So who gives a fuck?
Yeah, but still, it's summer. I still think summer in Spain for Spaniards.
Oh yeah, it's better than winter. Yeah, sure.
But
it's not as crazy and such a wild idea of fucking. Oh my God, we're out in the sun. It's sunny for this one day. We need to take advantage of it. Like for example, when it's really sunny in Ireland, and I'd be surprised if it didn't happen today. Usually, if COVID unfortunately probably fucked this, but usually pre-COVID times, all the cider is sold out. Everyone calls in sick. The beaches are full of people. Are shit beaches for the most part. Absolute ram full of people. Cider, mostly boomers, fucking all that kind of stuff. But you know what I mean? Like it's a
boomers are out.
It's an ordeal.
What was the line? There was the line in that remember that the post emigration video. Your man walking through Dublin, and he said, and fucking next year you'll be the same thing, top off, down, Dollymount Strand, getting lobster with the rest of them.
Nice.
Emma Kerwin is the guy who wrote that. There was that big fucking, we are your friends. No, you're all fucked off and left.
No, it is mad though. With fucking the heat here is it's just unknown.
What is the craziest thing you've done when you were younger in the summer? Like have you had any crazy summer tales?
One great sunburn story before we move on to that. A friend of mine,
was this Irish son or?
Well, it was a combination. It was the year of the big freeze, and myself and my partner at the time were traveling South America, and in our 4th month. Now, obviously, I'd been traveling around South America for quite a while, and I didn't think I looked brown.
You'd acclimatized though at that point.
Yeah, but until Irish people arrived.
Mm.
So we'd been there for
Yeah.
4 months, and then three of our friends arrived over to visit us.
That's usually the litmus test.
And
As soon as they arrive.
they were coming.
You're like,
they-
oh my
Yeah.
They were,
Oh my
they were
God.
coming over for Carnival in Rio, right?
Are you somebody's negative over here?
I
Like,
yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
totally,
God.
yeah.
I took a photo, and they were whiter than the sand.
Yeah.
They were like,
Yeah.
they are.
You're
like,
fucking up my my camera
yeah,
lens.
They were
yeah.
glowing. It was like they were
Yeah.
almost ghostly.
Yeah, yeah.
And
They
one
were
of my
emitting
friends,
light.
another Gary, his, obviously they arrived. They're like, oh my God, it's fucking roasting. Right, can we go to the beach? I was like, yeah, all right, we can go to the beach. That's fine. I'm all right with that. And him and his girlfriend. His girlfriend was very, she was, clued in. She was like, Gary, put some fucking sunscreen on.
She if I'm not mistaken, isn't she very fair?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
is.
like
yes,
really,
she is.
really, really white.
And she's, but she, and she knows it, and she took the appropriate precautions
Right,
with
right,
sun
right.
cream. Gary, being the fucking
hooligan.
idiot
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he is, and brilliant man, but idiot, goes, yeah, sun cream, grand. So gets a
I put it
squirt-
on yesterday.
gets a squirt of the sun cream, rubs it between his hands, rubs it on his tits, and one big streak down his thigh. And he's like, right, we getting in the fucking water, are we? I was like, yeah, we are.
Let's wash this
So
off.
we
Let's
went
wash
straight
this
in,
right
and
up.
We had the crack for fucking hours and hours, and it was all grand. And even I remember coming out thinking,
And this was like day one for him.
that was day
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
I've been there 4
Oh,
months.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
4
yeah.
He's got a form
Yeah.
of sheen on.
Yeah. I was
yeah,
like-
yeah. You got the pigment at that point.
I was still.
The melanin was,
the
was
the
rich with
inside
you.
of my arm was still white, but the outside was definitely a different color. Poor Gary, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So we were we just moved it because again it was.
So how many
Carnival.
hours were you in the water? Just plus it's water. You're washing shit off.
From about-
not even that,
from
but
about midday till-
you get more sunburn in water because the sun reflects back
And,
up off the water.
and the
It's-
salt.
yeah.
The salt exfoliates you as well.
Ah.
So this poor prick.
The perfect storm.
Yeah, it had to be about 12 to 6, I'd say, we're in the water. Or 12 to around 5, because the sun drops quite quickly there because they're on the equator. So we go back to the hotel, and he's like, oh, fuck, I'm feeling a bit hot, all right. And by the time we were going to bed, you could see he was like getting a bit beetroot. And I thought not much of it. And I came at we were in separate dorms, and I came and there was this leather armchair.
Oh
kind of
no, that's the
between-
worst of the heat.
between the two dorms.
You need a
I got-
shoehorn
I
to
got-
peel yourself
when
away
I came
from
out
it.
the next morning, he was sat there in a pair of boxers, and the poor fucker was practically bubbling.
Oh no, you cook an egg on him.
Oh my God! He was like, I had to leave. He was like, Sarah told me to get out of bed because I was so hot. I am like, we had to go to. Well, I didn't actually. My partner went down to the local. She went to go to the pharmacy. It wasn't open, so she had to go to the local convenience store and buy yogurt to put on his burn.
Fucking
Oh my
hell.
God.
Ingredients.
We had to smear him with yogurt, and the yogurt started to curdle on his skin.
Oh my
no.
God.
Yeah.
Day one.
Yeah, day one.
Fuck.
But here's the kicker, lads. And this is why Baz Luhrmann was right. Always wear fucking sunscreen, because Gary had a perfectly smudged hand bra on his titties and one white stripe
On
down
one
his
leg.
left
One
thigh,
leg.
Oh
where
my
he'd
God.
wiped the rest off. and
Fuck's
gone, yeah, I'll
sake.
put more on in a minute. I went out and had the crack. So
What
people,
an Irish
Yeah.
bloke.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm a hooer for doing that as well.
yeah,
I
oh, yeah.
hate putting it on because I have like fucking, especially my legs. I have like it's like a forest down
I
there.
actually
So
can't-
I put one swipe and it goes nowhere. Literally, the blob stays there, and I kind of have to massage it to the rest. And I don't absorb any of that shit.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just stays like a sheen of absolute like because you're putting it on when it's already roasting. You're not sticking it on in Dublin. You're sticking it on in insert fucking hot place here. Like so, I am already sweating. So there's a layer of honey glaze on
Yeah.
it that it goes. I'm moving the glaze.
I can't
Like,
put sun cream on. If I put sun cream on, I get prickly heat because it blocks my pores. So then, like, I'd rather risk the sunburn than prickly heat. Prickly heat it's torture.
well, I tried.
Torture.
Like one of my sunburn stories was I was on this island that basically it was right after the tsunami in Thailand. So the year like it happened in 2004, I think. So in
Yeah.
2005,
Sounds about right,
I was on this beach that it was one of these islands that they hadn't rebuilt yet. So it was in fucking because like not many tourists went there, so they were like, we'll leave that to last, you know. And it was in an absolute fucking jocker. Like as in the roads some of the roads had just fucked off completely, and you had to drive through it with your eyes closed because it was just a dust road. But we were on the beach, nobody there, fucking nobody. So we were like, right, fucking, we're just gonna like naked this.
Yeah.
Because let's get a full
it.
let's
Yeah.
get a full tan here. Like obviously, like below the short line, never seen sun. Never seen real sun.
Yeah.
Never seen real sun anyway. Like maybe Irish sun, but not Thailand sun. And we I think we socked it up or something like that, so we weren't crazy. Let's be fucking smart here. Like let's cover the dick. Like even though the dick always has some sort of a tan on it. You know what I mean? Has some sort of a I don't know. It's light glaze. I don't know what it is.
It's down to the elasticity of the skin.
I think so. It's just bunching up so it looks tan.
Oh my God, imagine getting sunburned on your dick.
But this is it. We just covered up, and I mean factored 50 or something like that on the rest, because below the belt. Sat in the sun all day, drinking away. Didn't fall asleep or anything like that. Didn't sit, to be honest, it wasn't all day. Not too long. Like a few hours, drinking away. Eventually went off to the bars. Continued on. Later that night, pulled down, went to the toilet at one point, pulled down, it was like a purple ring. Everything else was used to the sun at that point, but below the short line, up until the pube mark, it looked but it started to peel, purple ring, it looked like it had AIDS. Like it was fucking shocking, like streets of Philadelphia. It really, it was fucking horrendous. And it was at the time when we were, 20, something like that, 19, 20. So we were looking like you were going around looking to fuck. Yeah. So, and you're pulling this out. Yeah. You're fucking this monstrosity here. You want to suck on a peeling dick.
Frosted
flakes. Yeah. You won't even get the peeling dick, but your forehead will be covered in a layer of fucking skin with the occasional pube because it fell out with the goddamn peel.
Oh, gross.
It was shocking. So bad.
One of the worst sunburns I ever had was with our French friend.
I do.
So we were kids. He'd moved over to France a few years previously, and obviously was living there. So he was quite acclimatized to the heat at this point. And I was, staying with him and his ma. And we went to a water park one day, and of course, she was used to the heat.
Yeah, they'd acclimatized.
And he was used.
So,
to the
heat. For reference for our listeners, this is an Irish family that moved over to France.
Irish family who moved to France. So obviously
they'd be living there for a long time.
They were there a few years at this point, so they were well used to it. And to be honest, it wasn't an absolute scorcher of a day, but I mean by Irish standards it was.
Yeah.
So we went to the water park anyway, and me and him were running around from fucking 10 a.m. to whatever, 10 to 6 p.m. or something the whole day. Not a fucking lick of sun cream on me.
Of course not.
And by the time we got back to the gaff, then I was like, I am a bit
hot
pink and sore.
Hot tamale.
And obviously at this point she had realised her mistake, and she was like, fuck, I'm sending you back to your parents in fucking 3 days, and you are Lobster.
Yeah. Can I stick a jumper on him?
I am going to look like an absolute prick here. Is what
Get the after sun.
You won golden. Well, my tan worked out
the
well.
two of them are absolute bronze as fuck, and I look like a fucking piglet.
Yeah. As they put you back in your cage.
Practically had fucking
They try to put the after sun on him. Come here with the aloe vera.
Back in your ferry.
I remember coming home. I remember sitting at home. I think because that was like, and that was the worst. I think I remember saying something like, "Couldn't have gone last fucking week when you were here. You would have had a week to recover. No, I had to do it 2 days before you go home and send you back to your parents looking like that."
Of course.
I remember it being particularly uncomfortable and like that really horrible like tight skin feeling.
You know it's falling off. Like it's coming.
Hadn't yet, but I remember I think it was like the day after I got home. I remember sitting on the loo, and I remember just looking down the neck of my t-shirt and just seeing all these like bubbles.
Oh yeah.
Where the peel
similar to what I imagine is like Chernobyl victims fucking must have felt.
Yeah.
Only
1,000 times worse.
Yeah.
I never peel. Like I've got really like my worst sunburn I've ever got was I was traveling around Europe, and me and my partner at the time we went to the beach in fucking North Italy, or not North, fucking South Italy. I can't remember where we were. Went to the beach for what felt like an hour, right? And we were playing in the water, splashing around, sat down a bit, grand, went back to the hotel. And then later on, like, she walked by me later on in the hotel room. I was like, ooh, you got a bit sunburned. And she was like, you got a bit sunburned. I was like,
beetroot.
Did I? I looked down, I was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. So,
I've peeled many a time.
Oh, no, but the worst thing about it was that we had aircon in the room, so it was so hot. You sprayed it. I was like, right, I'm fucking roasting. Aircon on, cold breeze. Then I'm like, oh my God, it's horrible. It's too cold. And it was all night. And then there was like a wedding with fireworks, so we got no sleep. And we had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and get a 17-hour train to fucking Sicily. Oh my fucking It was bad.
Yeah.
It was so
Well,
bad.
like the
Putting the
word.
backpack on, it's like,
Oh, that's the worst.
Ow.
That's
Ow.
the worst.
That is bad. When
Yeah,
you
because
put
it doesn't just sit on; it scrapes from one side to the
pulls,
next. It just tears a layer of skin off, and you're like, well, I can't take this off now until I get to the bus / ferry / plane / whatever.
I was quite lucky when in South America with sunburn. Most of the time, I was either. Well, in fairness, my partner was very diligent at going like, "Put the fucking sun cream on, you fucking idiot," and she, that was good. But there was one particular time. Actually, it was the day. Going back to a football reference, it was the day before the Thierry Henry handball. We were in Mendoza and
Mendoza!
Thank you, gentlemen. The worst.
Who needs a soundboard?
Yeah, we are far superior. we will not be conquered by the machines. We basically, we were in Mendoza, and it was a cloudy day, and it was like, I don't really need any sun cream. You know what I mean? It's not even that warm.
Those clouds will fucking trick
it's cloudy. I mean, that's like Ireland, isn't it? You don't need to wear sun cream on a cloudy. Oh, I was wrong.
Oh, you're very wrong.
Oh, so wrong. I was absolutely
low bared, I believe is the word.
No, yeah, exactly. There was no, because there wasn't that much heat. We were able to sit out by the pool for ages. Nobody else bothered us. We had the
Not
pool
a bother.
for ourselves. Lovely time. Got in, went
Bit
to
of
go
a
for dinner,
breeze
had a
even.
shower, and I was like, that's a bit tingly, isn't it? And looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, she's a bit pink there.
Michael Bublé on the back, like, uh-oh.
We're in Bubble Town.
We had the same thing. Like the worst sun damage I've ever seen was a friend of mine. We were in Thailand again, and drinking every day was the usual. And one morning, absolutely hung over to bits. The cheapest room we could afford was some piece of shit fan room. The fan had broke. So it was literally like sitting in a furnace. So we were like, right, let's lie by the pool. They had a pool.
I love how they do that in those places. Like, oh yeah, you pay extra for fan room. Okay, you paid the extra. Yeah.
Oh, working fan. You didn't say working fan.
Yeah.
But we got out to the pool anyway. Exactly the same. Like literally an Irish day. Like as thick, overcast, like clouds, horrible looking. Went out by the pool. We'd slept for all of 2 hours or something like that with the heat. So went out there. I was trying to sleep. I don't think I slept at all. Had the iPod back then and listening to a few tunes, sitting there, and then I was like, right, I'll read a book, and I was like, I cannot focus on this. Eventually, a few hours later, I was like, I need to go back into the room to attempt to sleep with the door open or something. Friend of mine was on like belly down on the sun chair beside me by the pool. Like, I mean, a mile of clouds above us, just dense, dark, grey clouds. I was like, you coming in? No. He was like just half asleep going, no. Not happening. I was like, okay, leave him at it. He was half asleep. So he fell full asleep. I went in, done whatever I done, came back to him. Few hours later, he was grand. Comes in and was like, back on my knees, the virgin skin. Bit tight. Later on that day, I have never, ever seen it this bad. It was literally like pustules on a root, bark of a tree. Like this. I've seen
the photo. They are sizable.
We'll actually need to put it up on the Instagram app. It was insane. And basically, there was one above the joint on the back of his knee and one below, and they eventually got so big that they joined. He couldn't straighten his leg. He couldn't straighten his leg for best part of a week. And I had to get him all his food, his drink. He just had to sit there in the room. Eventually, when he could limp around,
pop that bitch.
Yeah, I walked by some random couple that were from England, I think, at the time, and the girl was a nurse, happened to be, and she was like, "Fuck me, what happened to you?" And I was, I thought you weren't supposed to burst blisters because that's your body fucking, doing whatever it needs to do.
After a while.
No,
but these were, Hail Marys. Like these were like golf, sorry, not golf, but like tennis balls, big and yellow.
Yeah.
Like so, she eventually comes and goes.
Again, two had merged into one.
Huge. Like she couldn't straighten his leg. Huge. Like, and anyway, she goes, Jesus, wait there. Runs into the pharmacy, gets like the top of a syringe, the needle part, and then gets some whatever, like gauze and things like that, and goes, right, you need to do this to me. Go back. So we went back to the shower. Over there, it's like everything's a shower room.
Yeah.
It's not like there's not like a stall. It's the whole room, a wet room.
You're gonna have to die, pal.
But I literally, since the skin around around the blister is thin as fuck. So as soon as you go through it, I knew I wouldn't feel it. So I had to go so careful because I just stab him in the leg behind
Yeah.
it. So I had to go so carefully through it. Didn't feel anything. And then it just pissed down my arm and I couldn't move. I couldn't move an inch. Just, oh no.
Oh my God,
no.
that is gross.
And it was like,
Hold on till I shave.
I had,
fuck
I had to
off.
wait for it to drain for, I'd say at least 1 minute, one solid 60 seconds of
Felt like
ooze.
a decade, I'd
Yeah,
imagine.
it was awful. But he fucking, well, not great after. We had to bandage him up, but like a lot fucking better than he was beforehand. Oh my God, it was the worst. We'll definitely put up those pictures after.
Yeah, well, on that fucking disgusting note, I'm going fucking home.
Let's call
I
it.
get sick.
Yeah, nice. Thanks for joining us this week. We'll see you next week.
As always, listeners, get at us.
Yeah.
If you've got any
stories.
ridiculous sunburn stories, or
I'm gonna peel myself
tales
off this chair
tales
right
of
now.
travelling.
We're overdue to read some of the user feedback
Yeah, so get us.
on the email. Send us an
We might
email.
do a little letter bag next
If
week.
you want,
shallowbepod@gmail.com.
If you want, you could buy our sweaty t-shirts now. We're going to be selling them.
Yeah, they'll be auctions.
My boxers will be up on eBay later on.
You can buy them rinsed or unrinsed, depending. User's preference.
Nice. Right, have a good weekend, guys. Enjoy the heat wave for people who are in Europe. Take care. Have a good one. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
If you like the show, hit the like and subscribe button. And if you don't, suck my dick.